Azarus123. He joined the Azarus Association Discord server the 22nd of May. He gave 3 tasks. The first, a hex string, the second, another hex string, and the third, wait. The first 2 tasks were translated back to English pretty easily. One was difficult to find, to grasp, to fathom. And the second task translated to June 27. Check description. This was more or less indicative that something was going to happen in June 27. What we didn't know is which description, because this account had a YouTube channel and a Discord user. One of the things he said when asked about impersonating Azarus was, "The wage of sin is death," which leads to believe that the account is not trying to impersonate Azarus, or it's Azarus controlling the account. A few hours later, he sends a link to a video. Part of the audio contains a robotic voice saying numbers in hexadecimal that translate to difficult to find, to grasp, fathom. Then the subtitles had the hex string, which translate to wait until June 27th for this subtitle to change. This further confirms that he wants us to wait until June 27th for further instructions, whether it be his YouTube channel or his Discord profile. The other part contains a reversed audio track that, when put right, says June 27th, June 27th, June 27th. Wait until the designated date of time. He's there. He's watching. June 27th. I can't tell, or else I'll die, not of sin, but murder. The next day, he DM'd me a server invite, which is quite curious since, well, it was out of the blue. I joined, obviously, and one of the things that struck me was that he had a role called John 8:58 KJV, which gives you this text from the Bible. Jesus said unto them, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am." I'm not that good at interpretation, so I have no idea what this refers to. I'm getting vibes about God and such. The server has 2 categories. The top one is a decimal string and translates to search, and the bottom one is another decimal string and translates to "He is there." He also sent the message Matthew 4:7. Now to the good part. This is when everything starts. June 27. The fourth task is revealed. Search. That's what Azarus123 gave us as a task. He updated his profile with some sort of code. The thing is not base 64 nor hexadecimal. It's actually a Google Drive link. This is what I found, kind of playing around with the string of text. Alternatively, going to his YouTube channel, there's a Google Sites link in his bio that can take you to the same place. So I could have found the Drive link from another place. In there, there's 3 folders and a README. Inside it explains that we have to figure who he is, not Azarus123, but he. For that, we need to solve the puzzles in each folder. By solving them, we get clues we can write into a program linked in the file so that we can get suspects, and suspects being people that can be him, not necessarily be him. Now, I could be the nice guy that solves the puzzle and all that, or I can take the shortcut. See, the program I mentioned is written in HTML, which is a language that tells the browser how to display a web page. The thing is that it's naturally decompiled and its source is completely available for everyone to see. So I can see inside the file's code to manually extract the suspects. What I didn't know is that most of the file would be taken up by two base64 encoded images. One is of Azarus and isn't relevant, and the other is an image of an office chair, which has absolutely no information other than it having been taken with an iPhone 16 Pro. Doing a reverse image search brings up 0 results, which means it was probably manually taken. Aside from that, there's nothing else to extract. So let's dive into the source code and see what's inside. There's a progress bar that appears after the click to start screen. The loading text that appears with it is binary, which translates to something not nice. Below that, there's a bunch of minified JavaScript code that at a first glance could be hiding something, but it's just an incredibly compressed code block that makes the program work as intended. It does nothing else really. After that, we get to where the script is defined, which is likely where what we want is. One of the lines gives us a username. It gives us the name player followed by 4 random numbers. After that, we can find another garbled mess that's not easily undone. Since it's not the typical base64 encoding, it uses a custom base85 decoder to decode the data into something that it can use. But here's the thing, I am a developer and I know how to code, so it's not extremely hard to decode all that base85 mess. So I built a Python script that decodes the whole thing for me. The data isn't a code block, it's actually a file named project.save. But that doesn't end there, because previously in the code we see this line. The important thing is that last part that says who is he.sb3. An sb3 file is actually a Scratch project. And you know what a Scratch project is? A zip file in disguise. So if we change the extension, we get a Scratch project, which we can upload into TurboWarp and see it's inside. I tried uploading it to Scratch, but it wouldn't load, so I am guessing the project was made in TurboWarp. Once inside, we can easily see a bunch of if clauses, and that's where all our names are. So here's the complete list of all clues we should have gotten and what it gives us. There's also a few things I consider to be Easter eggs and not something we should take into account. And all this took me less than 3 hours to figure out. Now, what's left is trying to figure out who is he, because, well, I might have gotten all the possible suspects, but I still don't know who he is. I honestly don't know what to think about this. I would discard Rem and Azarus, probably even Nister, but aside from that, I don't really know who could possibly be. So if you would like to help or bring in your theory, you're free to comment down below or join the server Azarus123 made and give your opinion. You will be more than welcome to do so. In any case, that's all I got, so bye for now.